Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, there's a lot of people already here.
You gotta turn off the volume on. You got volume over there?
Yeah.
That one? Oh.
I did not want. Come on, just fucking let me
Yeah, it goes
fucking
this
do
one.
something.
No, but I'm trying to get to.
Do you want lettuce? No, I didn't think so. No.
Me either. I'll pass.
Who are we waiting on?
Well, not me now.
Chris, is that you?
Yes,
Rock?
that's me.
All right. Let me put a name on you.
I'm not seeing Lewis yet.
Right.
Well, I talked to him a few minutes ago, so I'm assuming he's going to be jumping on any moment.
Linda Fobb, are you also on the phone?
I am.
Okay. You have someone that's displaying just the initials TH. You identify yourself, please. TH.
My dog is barking because there's somebody on this meeting who's got a dog barking.
No, no, no.
So we have a caller or viewer in the screen just says TH. Could you identify yourself, please? Okay, thank you. Tyler.
Mm. Mm. Well, I think we're all here, aren't we, Bill?
You have all the directors and their number of residents. I guess, can you see them on your screen?
Yeah, okay, let me see. I see a Luz and Para something. Who is that?
That's me.
That still doesn't help me.
I represent the MUD1, like the small dagger.
Oh, okay. So you're representing which mud? Who?
One with Beth.
Hunter's Glen? You're representing Hunter's Glen?
No, I'm with Beth Jones.
Oh, got it. Got it. Okay, you're with the neighborhood association. Got it. Okay. And what's your first name? Luz?
Yes.
Okay, Luz, were you going to make a public comment?
Yes.
Okay. And were you going to speak to a specific agenda item?
Yeah, just the taxes. Just thank
Okay.
you.
Okay. So,
Catherine, can I interrupt for a second?
sure.
The tax rate hearing is a standalone item.
Right.
So when we get to that item, anyone that wants to speak, you can take them in order. If we have a lot of people, we'll set a time limit. You can set a time limit if you like, but it's not
Okay.
part of the public comment section or comments on other items.
Really? Okay. So, I guess that's what we will do is we'll do our public comments. Did you have another agenda item that you wanted to talk about? Okay. And Tyler Ham, did you have a public comment?
Tyler, your microphone is muted.
Yeah, Tyler, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Oh, I don't have any comments. I just wanted to
Okay, you didn't have a
watch
public
and listen.
comment? Okay, that's fine. Okay. Then we've got Linda. And you have a public comment, Linda?
I do.
And did you have an agenda items that you wanted to talk to?
I do. I want to talk to item 4, 6, 7, 14, and 17. And
Okay.
since the public hearing rate is not included, I do want to speak to that as well.
Okay, I think what I'm gonna do is we will, to everybody who wants to talk about the public hearing rate, we'll do that all at one time. Okay,
Okay, I'll
Okay.
skip that one then.
okay.
For
And,
now, I'll skip that one.
right, okay, and then Sarah, you wanted to make a public comment? Sarah, you're muted if you're talking. Okay, Beth, is Chris Jones actually Beth Jones?
Yes, it is.
Okay, were you going to make a public comment?
I am not tonight. Thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. And were you going to talk on agenda item 11?
Yes.
Okay, okay, that's fine. And then we've got Gerald. Gerald, you were going to make a public comment? Gerald? Okay. Cindy?
No. I'm not gonna make a public-
You're not going to make a public comment? Okay. And is there anybody else that I'm not seeing? Bill? Oh, wrong mouse.
I think that's everyone.
Okay, I think that's everyone. Okay. Before I open this meeting, I'd like to make a comment before we start. So before I open the public comment portion of this meeting, I would like to comment on Sarah Teal's behavior at the August board meeting. If the board meeting had been in person, I would have expelled Sarah again for her disruptive behavior. But I have endeavored to give Sarah the opportunity to make her comments in the defined framework. Ultimately, she decided she would not make her public comments in agenda order and chose not to complete her comments. If you look at the agendas for the last year, you'll see the section defining the public comment portion of the meeting has gotten more and more detailed, defining how the resident must construct their comments. This was done in reaction to Linda Fobbs and Sarah Teal's pushing the boundary of this portion of the meeting. It started with Linda Fobbs' attempt at what would have been a meandering 15-minute speech that didn't tie any of her comments to agenda item. Last month, it was Sarah's turn. So let me be very clear. There are two types of public comments. There is a general public comment where the resident can discuss any topic they desire. With the exclusion of vulgar language, all topics can be discussed. Public comments about a specific agenda items must be relevant to the agenda items. I would like to remind our residents that once upon a time, approximately 2 years ago, the WTCMUD1 board meetings were very civil. We were ecstatic when residents came. It was common for there to be back and forth conversations. Residents were allowed to ask questions during the board meetings. In fact, this was just encouraged. But then Linda Fobb and Sarah Teal started interrogating the board during the public comments and throughout the meeting. This has resulted in the board adopting very strict protocols for the meeting. Because of this loss of camaraderie, camaraderie, and community involvement, I added standing agenda items for the Valente Hills HOA, Hunters Glen HOA, Lakeline Oaks HOA, and the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association to be able to engage the board as they have always done in the past. This is where Sarah Teal went astray last month. She mistakenly believed she could attack the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association and its volunteers because of the standing agenda item. On tonight's agenda, number 11 is presentations by Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association, Hunters Glen HOA, Lakeline Oaks HOA, and the Valente Hills HOA. If you wish to speak to this agenda item, you must discuss the presentation made by these community groups. This is not an agenda item to attack these community groups or their volunteers. The appropriate place on the agenda to attack your community is as a public comment. Agenda item 11 is reports by the ACCs. If you wish to comment on this agenda item, your comments must be relevant to the reports from the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association ACC, the Valente Hill ACC, the Hunters Glen ACC, or the Lakeline Oaks HCC. Agenda item 13 is requests from the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association, the Hunters Glen HOA, the Lakeline Oaks HOA, and the Valente Hills HOA regarding deed restriction enforcement. The comments on this agenda item must relate to the requests made by these community organizations. Finally, I just want to say, Sarah Teal, you are a bully. I thought Linda Fobb was a bully, but Linda, I have come to realize you are just an average schoolyard bully. Linda, what you are is a fabulous mentor. You have mentored Sarah Teal into an A1 bully. The student has surpassed the teacher. And Linda, you just silently stand there while Sarah attacks our community. Her words are vetted by you. I have very fond memories standing up to the schoolyard bully, and I will continue to stand up for my community. Tonight, the board will again vote to lower the tax rate as well as the average taxes paid by the residents. But they could have been 4 to 5 cents lower if Linda Fobb and Sarah Teal hadn't forced the MUD to waste $200,000 of our tax dollars on open records requests. Okay, I am going to open this meeting up to the public comment section of our meeting, and
Excuse
we
me.
are going to start. Yeah.
Yeah, before you start, when you asked Sarah Teal if she wanted to say anything, she did not answer, and nor did Gerald Burgess. You want to give them each a chance again before you go on?
Yes, I will. That was my plan. I'm just assuming that they're having some sort of technical difficulty and that they're going to want to make their public comments. Okay, we're going to start with Luz, and you wanted to make a public comment.
It was just in regard to the taxes.
Okay.
I just wanted to thank you guys for trying to keep our taxes low, so I appreciate that.
Okay.
Catherine, one comment before you go on. Our time limits are dictated by the number of segments.
Right.
The tax rate hearing doesn't count towards that.
Right.
But if you're going to call on any of the residents to see if they are going to have comments, you might want to do it now.
I agree.
We're going to treat it.
Okay, Sarah, I'm calling again. I'm assuming you have a public comment that you want to make and you want to discuss some of the agenda items.
Still muted.
Yeah, she's still muted. I'm really surprised. Okay, Gerald, you wanted to make, oops. Gerald, is that you? Gerald, you're not muted anymore, so I'm assuming that's you. Oh, she's coming. I bet she's coming in on another line. Is that Mary? Is that Gerald?
Yes, it's me. So
Okay.
let me get my husband up here. So
Okay.
can
Okay.
you hear me okay?
Yes, you're coming in loud and clear.
All right, sounds good. Let me get my husband. Okay, so now you're unmuted. Just make sure when you're not talking to you.
Okay. So,
Gerald, hold on, Gerald.
Okay.
What you wanted to make a public comment,
one public comment.
and
One
then what agenda items did you want to speak to tonight?
I didn't want to speak to agenda, but I was going to, as a representative of the West Anderson Mill.
Okay, you're going to talk. You're going to talk as under agenda item 11. Okay.
Yes. And
okay,
then
so
I was gonna make a comment on the taxes.
okay, so you're going to say you're going to make a public comment, and then you're also going to talk about you're going to talk during the rate hearing, which is fine. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to make one more reach out to. Actually, I don't see her anymore. Oh, there she's, Sarah. I'm going to reach out one more time. Okay, that's weird. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're okay. I think we're under 10, Bill. That's what I'm counting.
Catherine, you may want to ask David Flores.
Oh, did he just come in? I didn't see that. Oh, there you are. David, were you going to make a public comment tonight?
Absolutely, after your little speech, so yes.
Okay, and so you're going to make a public comment, and were you going to speak to a specific agenda item?
No.
Okay, so now we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to, okay, Tyler Ham, I'm going to give you one last time to say no to making a public comment. And then we're going to go to Beth. Beth Jones, you're going to make a public comment?
I'm not speaking on a public comment tonight. Remember, just on 11. Thanks.
Oh, just on 11. Okay. Okay, we're good. So
Thank
then,
you.
Okay, Gerald, you're going to make a public comment.
Yes. Is it my turn?
Yes, go ahead.
So
And I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Jimmy,
Okay.
you're going to be my timekeeper.
Yes. What's the
Okay.
time limit?
Yeah, we got 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Me too. Go ahead and start.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So I would like to just make a comment about, there's one of the candidates running for the board has an initiative about safe streets for children. I'm a Leander Independent School crossing guard, and I find this initiative very important. I have almost been run over multiple times, and I know I have some other crossing guards who have the same issue. Anything that the MUD can do in coordination with us or any other organization is so helpful. Right now, we don't have enough crossing guards, and it's become kind of dangerous. I reached out about a year ago and got some crosswalks put in, and that kind of stuff is really important. And there are times when I can tell that when they leave my area, they're not really safe walking home. And I have to watch them for a long time. So that initiative, I feel, is very important, that Megan's trying to do. I think it would definitely benefit everyone in the neighborhood. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and David Flores, you're going to have a public comment.
Start.
Yes, I just want to make a public comment about the $200,000. Well, how much was it? That $20,000 that you claimed? Anyway, the amount of money that we spent on the open records request, $20,000. That could have, you blame it on Sarah and Linda, but I think you should be to blame as well as the MUD board, because you have the ability to submit those open records requests and not have the cost. They are public information, and it's something that can save us a lot of money. So I blame you as well, the board members, for incurring that cost on the taxpayers. So, it's not just Sarah, that is Sarah and Linda's right to ask for open records requests. So it's kind of sad that you would call them out and blame them when you are at fault as well. I just wanted to also make a comment on the fact that, I've lived here 15 years and I've been so happy to live here. And you and your clique that you have has made it really awful to live here. With your lies, your slanders, the lack of listening to constituents, the lack of reaching out to constituents. So it's just really sad, and you have made this an awful place to live for me and my family. So, you guys should be ashamed of yourselves for the way that you act as public officials. And I hope that the public hears this and does their more research and look into the lack of leadership that there is in this community, letting our parks fall apart, spending all the money to beautify them, but yet letting it all go to waste, not maintaining it. There's plants dying everywhere.
Okay. Thank you, David. Okay, now we're going to start with Linda Fobb, and you're going to have a public comment, and then you're going to talk in order on agenda items 4, 6, 7, 14, and 17.
That's correct.
Thank you. Okay.
Jimmy, tell me when.
Start.
Jimmy. Tonight's proposed budget includes increases in service fees to contractors with fewer duties for them to perform. Sage Management is inexplicably taking on the support role for waste management services that Infomark is contractually obligated to provide. Why are we paying for these services twice? And what possible benefit to the district is there for Sage to perform this function? You need to explain to your constituents why it is necessary to replace functioning water meters that have not met their rated useful life with electronic ones. Why are you not replacing them through attrition? Why the rush to purchase all new meters for the entire district before replacing a single one? You need to publish the televising of the sewer system report, including the problems found, the severity of the issues, and the priority for fixing them.
Okay, agenda item 4.
Start.
The proposed budget has not been discussed in a public meeting. You need to explain why you are budgeting for non-essential amenities and improvements to parks in the same budget with infrastructure maintenance that you are using to puff up your need for $2 million in bonds. Your priority should be maintaining the infrastructure with current revenue, yet you continue to waste the district's money on personal pet projects and then claim you need to indebt us more bonds to cover your misspending. The proposed budget includes a 190% increase in the maintenance cap for wood chips and increased maintenance costs for parks and ponds that are closed for the foreseeable future. Why have you spent almost $10,000 on janitorial services when the park restrooms and the Lakeline Oaks office building have been closed for the past 6 months? And what did you spend $23,000 on for those same closed, unusable parks? You need to justify these expenses when you present a budget that includes potential bond items commingled with non-essential vanity projects.
Okay, agenda item 6.
Start.
Statement. I was given a copy of another Sage friendly letter from a resident in Anderson Mill West, Section 1, that is entirely misleading and deceptive. The letter is deceptive since it cites in the first paragraph violation items that are not included in the deed for Section 1, including trash cans in view, pods, and on-street parking. There is no basis in any deed for the Sagnus's claim that it's necessary to allow the passage of emergency vehicles. Inexplicably, the letter states that the deed violation that was specifically cited finally at the end of the letter will be ignored if Sage is notified in advance. But the most curious item on this letter is the following statement. If you need assistance or have any questions regarding the trash service, need a new bin, or if your trash is not being picked up regularly, please email Sage at, and I'm quoting that sentence. Per my public comments, when did waste management become Sage's responsibility, and why does your website not reflect that? Inconsistent messaging is precisely why the Anderson Mill Limited District does not allow Sage to communicate with its residents. You need to adopt that same policy.
Okay, agenda item 7.
Management report from Sage. This report is missing the fire pit and the Hannah K chickens. Those violations still exist and have been violations since before the declaration of the pandemic. The old unregistered truck with the flat tires that hasn't moved in over 2 years remains on Astor Path. Yet I see that tonight you have 2 identical violations escalated to legal. These violations are not the issue. They merely demonstrate the inequity of how deed enforcement is carried out in our neighborhood. Some people get to escape enforcement while others are harassed, taken to court, and have their water shut off. The appeal for the unregistered vehicle with a COVID delay has been in that status for at least 8 months now. It was unregistered pre-pandemic. So why are you not being punitive to that family like you are to the other 3 families that you have in legal crosshairs? Please explain to your constituents how that is fair or equitable.
Okay, agenda item 14.
Start.
They're the minutes. These are not minutes provided by Sage Management. You're missing months of minutes out there for DRC meetings. Sage Management is responsible for these minutes, and they are demonstrably not an account of what's transpired in the meeting. The 5 board members approve of this lack of accurate accounting of what's transpired in a public meeting, displays a deliberate contempt for transparency.
Okay, agenda item 17.
Start.
Bob versus WTCMUD1 and the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association. Our lawsuit is a direct result of Megan Dudo, Louis Zervigon, and Catherine Franke refusing to surrender any evidence of a legal ACC and its succession in their roles as the executive committee of the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association. Catherine and Louis continue to withhold these records in their positions as MUD board directors. Last year, the MUD district spent $4,000 to pay the legal expenses incurred by Megan Dudo and Louis Zervigon to help prop up the claim that their voluntary association was not a public entity, so as to conceal documents regarding the implementation of the ACC from our neighborhood. Now they are using our tax dollars once more to defend this association and the 2 MUD board directors that have acted fraudulently as ordinary citizens of this district. Tax dollars should not be used to pay for the legal defense of private organizations and individuals. It is my belief that the Voluntary Neighborhood Association has no right to access the district's revenue to protect Megan, Louis, or Catherine in their roles in this organization.
Hey, thank you, Linda. Okay, I am now going to close the public comment section of this meeting, and now I'm going to go to agenda item 2, which is the public hearing on the tax rate. And Linda, you wanted to talk about that, and Gerald wanted to talk about under that agenda item. Okay.
Catherine?
Yes.
So you need to officially open the.
Oh, okay. Is there something I have to read?
No, just say that you're now opening the hearing on the tax rate.
Okay, hold on. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on. Okay, I'm now officially opening the hearing on the tax rate, and I'm gonna is it gonna be 2 minutes for everybody? Is that how it's gonna go?
Well, this is not defined. We haven't defined the time limit.
Okay.
How many people do you have to speak?
Right now, I just have, as far as I know, I only have 2 people. I've got Linda, and then I've got Gerald.
And Luz, I think she said.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to have Luz then, too. Okay.
So I think 2 minutes is fine.
Okay. So, Linda, we'll just start with you. You have 2 minutes to talk during the public hearing on the tax rate.
Okay, so that's like agenda item number 2, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. All right, tell me when. Jimmy?
Start.
At last month's meeting, the 5 of you sounded like the famous baseball comedy routine of Abbott and Costello, who's on first. As the 5 of you, your attorney, and most disturbingly your accountant, bumbled about to find a tax rate that was just below the threshold of requiring a vote by the residents, it was evident that the setting of this tax rate is based on nothing more than keeping the people's voice and vote out of this decision. If you were acting in the public's interest, you would have a budget plan that substantiates the rate, not a plan to circumvent the voice of the people. You'll claim the MUD rate is lower than Cedar Park, but that's not likely to be true again this year when you consider what your tax dollar buys you in Cedar Park versus what our tax dollars are paying for here in the MUD. For that reason, I intend to publish a true comparison between the MUD and Cedar Park tax rates so that people being governed by this MUD board will have a fair comparison. It helps to make informed decisions when all of the facts are presented. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you, Linda. Luz, did you want to make a comment during the public hearing on the tax rate?
No, I don't.
No, I meant Luz, not.
Luz.
Hi, I just wanted to thank you guys for trying to keep our taxes low, even though we have so many expenses with the legal fees and stuff, and allowing our records to be private and for trying to keep them out of the public. So I thank you guys.
Okay, thank you. And Gerald, you have 2 minutes to talk during the hearing on the tax rate.
Okay.
Start.
So I actually would like to thank the board for all their hard work they've done in maintaining the amount of taxes we pay year after year has been the same for almost 10 years. That's very difficult to do in this kind of environment. And so regardless of what the previous speaker said, all that discussion last week was about trying to maintain a tax rate that was equivalent to what has been in the past. And it's not easy. I have a financial background, and going through all those records and all that information showed me that you guys are on the ball, that you guys are actually trying to do the best thing for us as citizens by trying to keep the amount of taxes we pay at the same amount every year. I have researched it too. I've talked to friends who are in other MUDs, and they say, you know, we're not a very large MUD, but they say it's very difficult to maintain the same amount of taxes, the actual amount you pay year after year. So the board should be complimented and should be given a thumbs up or shout out for all their hard work in trying to maintain and maintaining a tax amount that's been consistent over the past 10 years. Thank you.
Thank you, Gerald. Okay, so I'm now going to close the public hearing on the tax rate. And we are going to move to agenda item 3, which is order approving the district's appraisal roll and setting the district's tax rate.
Catherine, if I might suggest, we need to discuss 3 and 4 together because and when the time comes to vote, we really should vote on number 4 first.
Okay.
And then number 3. And so a lot of this depends on the budget, and that the budget assumes the tax rate. So I would think it's appropriate either for Michael or the budget committee to present the budget.
Okay. So who wants to jump on? Michael, I think the
Yeah, I'm ready to roll. I've got the budget ready to share, so let me
yay
try to do that. There we go. All right. Should be able to see that. Let me see if I can go ahead and grow it a little bit. And the budget is substantially the same as we presented at the last meeting. We've worked through some iterations. I've cleaned through, updated the projection for the end of the fiscal year. Checked to make sure that I had everything calculating correctly. Worth noting on the budget in terms of revenues, proposing an increase in revenues of about 30,000. Part of that, most of that is taxes. Almost everything else is pretty flat. In terms of, let's drop down to expenses. The bottom line in terms of all expenses is an increase of about 100,000. And that's quite a lot of different elements coming together. It's been commented that the parks expenses are up. The original budget from the prior year didn't capture the costs as they were separated out among the various parks. And so this version of the budget captures a years of experience and trues that up.
Okay.
Right. And then, so that shows a deficit projection of 500,000. The bulk of that is for projects that are expected to be covered by a bond issue. In terms of the bottom line, that will lower the reserve balance to 1.88, assuming that we don't get reimbursed for that, which would bring it below the 2.1 6-month reserve that you would want. But then we show going forward that you get that right back above the 1.98 up to 2 million next year and then continue to grow. So that will give you room to continue to decrease your taxes if you need to going forward after the projects that you feel get the district up to where you want it to be. That underlays then the tax rate. And this is based off of the tax rate, the certified assessed values that we have coming in this year. Some slight decreases in both counties that the district lies in. And so that leads to a slight increase on the M&O tax rate to 2,979. But with the district's bonds being substantially paid off, a reduction there. So the total tax rate declines from 0.385 to 0.3479. And this, of course, is a decrease of more than 9.5% of the tax rate. And it also means that the average taxpayer is going to pay less based on this rate.
Okay, so do we have the number that the average tax payer is going to be? You know, because that's one of the things that we look at. What is the average, you know, year in, year out? Yeah.
Yeah, let me pull that up. I'm looking at the thing at this district's across 2 counties, so there's 2 separate reports for that. Let me see if I can find it.
Well, I find it interesting. So what I'm hearing you say is that the appraised values have actually gone down a little bit this year.
Yes.
Compared to last year. I find that I was really surprised by that because, you know, my house is worth about $50,000 more than what it's appraised at. So I'm fine. And I've been watching, you know, what's happening from a real estate point of view in our MUD. I watched that quite a bit, and the values are not going down; they are going up. So I find it interesting that the appraisal district decided, hey, everybody's houses are worth less this year.
Well, and that's across, and this, you know, I was a little surprised that that it went down because I had heard people say that it was a lot of anecdotal evidence that rates were going down. And then typically what I find, you know, this happens across districts, and then we find that it didn't. But in this case, it did. This district, at least by the way that the Travis and Williamson County assessed the valuations, lowered it. There's some belief that that was an internal thing, that they were concerned, and that's, but you know, I can't project on why it happened. All I can tell you is that in fact it did happen.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I can even tell you that a resident in this neighborhood just recently sold his house for more than he listed it for, and he doesn't think the house is going to appraise out. I mean, the demand is so high, and maybe that's part of the blip that we're seeing.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to project at all about.
Yeah. Okay, so are you finding what that number is?
Yeah, hang on.
Yeah, because
I am trying to plug that in here.
Yeah, because I agree with what Mr. Burgess said. Is that's the one thing that I've been very aware of, is that for the last decade, my MUD taxes have been very stable, even though my overall taxes have gone up through. I mean, it's just unbelievable. And it's not the MUD, it's the school district. It's Leander ISD where the huge increase in the taxes have come from.
Okay, and I have that now, the percent decrease for the average taxpayer. And let me just verify that I'm talking about the right county. I have the Travis County one because it's 9.22% decrease. And so that's what the average taxpayer will pay less in taxes. Combination of the fact that the average homestead value has declined and then the lower overall tax rate. So a decline of 9.22%. The tax rate change is 9.636, but the tax paid by the average taxpayer is 9.22%.
So what you're telling me is if you paid $100 last year, you'd pay $92 this year.
91-ish, but yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
And effectively, the average taxpayer, the average tax on a resident homestead last year was $1,265.71, and it'll be now $1,148.99, a decline of $116.72. And I can share that if you want to see it.
Yeah. Do you have that over time? Because I'm going to say that that's probably one of the larger decreases that we've had.
Yes. No, I haven't worked that out through past years, but I can do so.
Okay.
It's not easily, not immediately, and not at this meeting.
Oh, I agree. I agree. You know, you've got a lot going on because of the time of year. I totally get that.
Hey, Michael, you also used 98% on the estimated percent of collections, right, due to the pandemic?
Right, and so that's one difference in the property taxes. Because we shallowed this year on our collections, we normally project 99%, and you normally get 99.8 or, well north of 99%. This year, you actually got collection rate lower than that. And I figured that if I had put in a 98% tax collection rate, we would have zeroed the budget. It would have been spot on. So I am to be conservative and assume that the same kind of issues that are causing the slow collections this year, presumably COVID and economics related, continue into the next year. That's the safe assumption. And so I factored in a 98% collections for this next year. And I feel that that's, again, conservative. We should easily hit that number.
Michael, this is Louis speaking.
Yep.
One of the things I'd like to comment relative to the property tax, the amount that a taxpayer pays is a combination of property tax and fees. An example would be that the people in Cedar Park have their fire protection under their property tax. And our residents pay the fire protection under the water billing. So an accurate way to look at how much we pay versus Cedar Park would be not just to look at property tax, but look at property tax plus fees. And I think that the residents who are listening to this should be aware that about every 2 years, we pay for a study which makes that comparison, and it makes it in detail, because we want to know what our residents are paying versus Cedar Park, given the caveat that what we're paying is a combination of property tax plus fees. We've been doing this for several years, and what we have found is every time we do this, we find that the difference between what we pay and the Cedar Park people pay is less than $100, or just a bit more than $100. Sometimes we're below Cedar Park, sometimes we're above them, but the difference is never more than about $100 a bit more. Thanks, Mike.
Okay.
All right, and did you want me to walk through the backup to the budget in terms of the system of maintenance details, the maintenance cap items that we've budgeted, the capital projects 5-year plan?
Yeah, let's talk.
Yeah,
let's
run
talk
through
about.
them.
Yeah, we'll go through this and let's talk about the maintenance cap, because one of the public comments is that we're having a huge increase in our maintenance cap, and I'm going, I don't think so. So let's talk about that.
Right. The annual maintenance cap for this year was budgeted at $77,750. It's increasing to $106,450, and that's capturing increases in maintenance on parks and
scheduling.
Is
this is what you're talking about when you reorganize the budget to capture more detail that wasn't being captured last year. So
yes.
So what you're saying is, and let's remember what the maintenance cap is all about. The maintenance cap is really about flattening the curve for maintenance. It's about paying the same amount of money and being able to budget the same amount of money month in and month out to cover those things that you think you're going to need to pay for. And if you don't need it, you get it back at the end. And if you had some sort of major disaster, then you end up paying for it. Then we pay you at the end. But the whole concept,
but it gives you budget and cash flow security, a leveling of that, so that you don't have to worry that one month you're going to have to pay $100,000 more for maintenance than the next month.
Yes,
it's a flattened out across the year amount.
Yeah, it is.
And one of the reasons that the cap is going up this year is that we have a couple of items that we aren't going to do every year that we are going to do this next year. So like the wood chips at Anderson Mill and Hatch Pond. So that's adding to the budget. And also Lake Line Oak. So actually the wood chip project is quite a bit of that. Pressure washings and maintenance on the gazebos every other year. We expect to do that. And so, this year, we're seeing an increase because some of these items are coming up this year, but then the number drops back a bit the next year.
Okay. So when you're talking about pressure washing, you're not talking about pressure washing the walls, are you?
And well, that's pressure wash and paint the pavilion is actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what that item is. So I just wanted to touch base on that. That's why that number is going up. It'll oscillate a little bit from year to year as some projects come on and some come off, but we're truing up to what our actual costs look to be. Now, in terms of the capital projects, the 5-year plan, these are items that the board has discussed, and so. The big one is meter replacements for $250K, a possible bond project. The Madeline Loop trail completion, in addition of the entrance at Sun Chase for $40,000. $5,000 for the Anderson Mill deck pond, $5,000 for the detention pond improvements, phase 3 Cashel-Wood, the yoga deck. And then you're looking at park improvements of various sorts. And that's detailed on another page, the $75,000 for park beautification and improvements. And so let's go to that. And again, it's a long list of smaller items of things that that the board, feels that it wants to do in order to improve the district, to make it a better place, to improve the parks. And so.
Right. So we're talking about we got lights,
Shrubbery.
Shrubbery, wild, yeah, $100 for seeds, $500 for, oh, we're not doing fans. We've already done that. We're going to do some sort of benches. Yeah. Okay, we got chipping area, but we've also got, but that's also displayed in the maintenance cap. So how is this different? Is this different?
That's actually a question for Mackenzie. When I said chipping area, I wasn't associating that with chips. I was associating that with chipping.
You know what chipping area is.
Yes. Okay. I'm sorry. Request. Yeah, that's right. It was like, yeah, I'm
No
sorry.
worries.
It's like, yeah, that's not what I would have called it, but yeah, that's going to be something that it's not going to cost that much, and then we'll go ahead and, we'll
another amenity that you basically want to develop out of your parks.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay. And then moving on, the last several pages, 6 pages of this are how we run the revenue and expense calculations on the water and sewer side. And so tracking flows and connections and getting a rolling average to try to predict what is unpredictable, which is how much water your customers are going to need in the next year, and the rate that they're going to buy it at. So there's quite a lot of detail there, but it's at that point we're really getting in the weeds.
Let me ask some questions as it relates to the water rates, though, because one of the questions I responded to an email today where somebody was saying, hey, we're using so much more water as a result of COVID because we're washing our vegetables, et cetera, so much more. Let's not do winter averaging. And I said, no, we want to keep the winter averaging because that's how you keep your sewer bill down. Because I made the examples, like I use about somewhere between 2,000 or 3,000 gallons a month during January, February, and March. But then I use like 6,000 to 8,000 the rest of the year. But I only have to pay sewer for the 2,000 gallons during the warm part of the year where I'm using more water. So I just let's talk about that. I thought I saw something in the budget, in your numbers there, where it was talking about, winter averaging and et cetera, because we understand that during the warmer part of the year, all of the water is going into the ground. It's not going down the sewer, which is why everybody needs to not water and use as little water as possible during winter averaging, because that's how you're going to keep your total monthly bill down the rest of the year.
Yeah, and if you looked at the detail here, you'll see that the sewer is flat. It's assuming winter averaging. And so, that piece of it's already factored in, but we are tracking the water usage throughout the year. And predicting what the average usage will be by month.
Well, do you have something that says that, hey, on average we use X amount in January, and then how much are we buying in July? So if we buy 1 million gallons in January, but we're buying 10 million gallons
let me see.
Because that's really getting at how much you're saving by doing the winter averaging.
Let me see. Yeah, here we go. Let's see if I've got it. So that I don't think I've got a summation averaging, but you can see here, for example, residential water. In the most recent year, it's starts off very high, 19,000 in October, and then drops down to under 10,000 in December. under 8,500 in February and March. And so
Right.
during the winter averaging months, the water use is much lower.
It's half.
And then it starts jumping back up into, quintuple digits again
Right.
throughout the rest of the year. And so that's, that follows through in all these years. You can go back through all of them, and it's the same pattern.
Well, see-
That water use, because as you pointed out, it's basically the irrigation portion that people don't need in the winter. And so
Right.
that part is not going, as you said, that part doesn't go in the sewer system. So there's no need to charge people for that water. And
Right.
so the winter averaging is a way to capture that. The key is for people to understand that.
Right.
They can effectively game the system and get the best deal for themselves by
Well,
making sure that their usage during the winter months when the winter averaging takes place is as low as possible.
well, I'm just going to brag and say that my winter averaging was 1,000 gallons 3 months in a row. So, so I gamed the system.
And that's okay.
Catherine, I'd like to suggest that from talking to a lot of people in the community, each year, despite the fact that we talk about winter averaging, there's some confusion as to when it starts and when it stops. So I'd like for us to take a look at how we're communicating that information and perhaps post it on the front page of the first page of our website, because it's winter averaging. So we're talking about November, December, and January, but does that mean November the 1st? And does that mean through January 31st? That's never clear to people.
Louise, this is Christy Hester. I can comment on that.
Thank
So
you.
it goes off of the meter reads that we start in November through March. So it's going to be through December, January, and February is really the usage that you use during those 3 months. But we don't put an exact time because it's based off of the meter readings that we do that usually happen during the mid-month. And every month, or when we start winter average, we put a message on the water bills, and we'll also include something on the website so people know to conserve water during those months.
So the fact that we started, depending on the meter reads, that determines when we actually started. Perhaps the safest way to approach this would be to tell people from December the 1st to the end of February, that's when you want to conserve your water consumption.
I would say yes, November through February, or maybe even early March to conserve, just to be on the safe side.
Oh, from November 1st through the end of February, perhaps early March. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and the longer you do it, the better numbers you have. You know, you can get your average better.
Maybe we can add that to the newsletter, Louis. What do you think?
Yeah, that's a good idea, but I sure would like to have perhaps on the first page of the website, put the window there, and the window is not necessarily when the metering is done, but what people ought to do to be safe. So from November the 1st through the end of February or whatever.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So any more questions about the budget and the tax rate that it supports?
Yes. Well, okay. So one of the things that, we sort of touched on it, Lou sort of touched on it earlier, hold on, let me, and we talked about it last month, were we going to move any portion of the trash service into the rate this year? Does that,
Fire
does,
service.
Fire protection.
Fire service.
Oh, the fire protection. That's what it was. Fire protection. We don't want to move the trash service. We want to keep the trash service the way it is. Yeah. Okay.
So the concept was that if we can move some of the fire protection into the property tax, then the residents get a double benefit. They get a benefit and it lowers their monthly water bill. And by putting it in the property tax, those people who itemize get to charge it off. And the amount of money involved is $500,000. We could clearly not afford that. But what I suggested was that we could incrementally move parts of it to property tax, so that at some time in the future, perhaps we can have all of it under property tax. That would reduce the the monthly bill of everybody in a very nice way.
Right. Okay, so was there any kind of analysis done as to, moving, see, 10% would be $50,000. What would that do versus, 100%, or 100,000. So 50% is just 10%. It would take 10 years to migrate everything. $100,000 would take 5.
Well,
So
the budget is baked now.
is it,
So
you think this is pretty tight at this point?
at this point, to make that change, you'd have to take money out of something else.
Okay.
What we do is next year, when we get to budget season, is that we have that examination as a priority.
Right.
So that we can then present to the board what alternatives may be reasonable.
Okay.
Right, and worth looking at the budget right now. Looking ahead to the next fiscal year, we're showing that a tax rate decrease again from 3,479 to 3,199. So that's 0.028 that theoretically could be used at that if you were interested in keeping the same tax rate. Again, we don't know what the valuations are going to be. If the valuations this year by declining were an understatement by the central appraisal districts, which is what many people believe to be true, it's very likely that your appraised valuations will jump next year. And then you would have room to, allocate some to a fire tax rate while still lowering your M&O rate by quite a bit. So, without knowing, I can't tell you anything, but what I can tell you is that when we're looking ahead, we see that there's room as your debt service rate continues to decline over the next 3 years. So,
yeah, Louis, when we were discussing this, given that we had the COVID and a tight budget, we just decided that next year would give us a better opportunity to start looking at all or partial of the fire protection fee going on to the the tax rate.
Okay.
Perhaps Michael can set it up to give some possible scenarios to our budget.
Right.
Yeah, I think we ought to run 3 scenarios.
Yeah. And I might add that if we do that, some people will say we're raising taxes, and other people will say, hey, you're lowering my water bill.
6 of one, half a dozen of another. Is that what you're saying?
There you go.
all right, so was there anything else?
No.
I can stop sharing now?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. But I like to share.
Catherine, can I interject for a second?
Sure.
Okay, so it sounds like we've covered discussing the budget. The budget is based upon the tax rates that are contained in the order that's part of your packet, which is number 3 on the agenda. So if we approve the budget as presented, then the order will follow. There is a change this year on our budget. I don't know if you can look at it, but we had a part 2 to item 4, which is the order approving the budget, which is the cover order. And then behind that is an appendix. And this year, as a result of Senate Bill 2, developed districts such as yours are required to provide an appendix to the budget. And these are not documents you approve or change. They just get appended by state law. And so the first appendix are the approved audits for the last 2 fiscal years. And I did send that with the invite. Those are the approved audits. Those are records you can't change.
Oh, okay.
The third item was the engineering report required by 49.106 Texas Water Code. That report is actually the engineering report that was done before the bonds were approved by the voters. And all that happened back in 1985. So we were able to find that report, and I did send it on the invite. Again, it's not something you can change. It's just historical information. And the other item are the bond transcripts for the unpaid bonds. And those are very large documents. Lee was able to help me get them on the website at the end of the day today. Some of them are 500 pages long. So you're welcome to look at them on the website, but I did not include it in the invite because I didn't know if it would go through. So part of the motion on approving the budget includes those documents in the appendix. I just wanted to make that clear before you take action.
Okay, so just so I'm clear, so are all of these documents now on the website? So state laws requiring them that they need to be posted with our budget. Is that what I heard you say?
Yes.
And they're really huge and they're really old.
Yeah, for the most part. The bond issues are from the 2003 bond issue, the 2005 refunding, and the 2011 refunding are the ones that are outstanding. So yeah, they're very large documents.
So Bill, if I understand correctly, we should first consider approving agenda item 4, part 2, which is the order approving budget, and then we go to the tax rate, which is item 3, correct?
Correct. And if you do that, the budget that would get attached is the one you're discussing with Michael.
Yes. So I so move if that's if it's an appropriate time to do so.
Okay,
That is-
so Louis,
move-
you're moving
I
to
move
for
approval of the order approving the budget, which is agenda item 4, part 2.
And including Michael Luff's proposed budget, correct?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. We've had a lot of discussion. Do we have any more discussion?
Nope.
Okay. I'll go ahead and call the vote. Louis,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
Art,
Yes.
and I vote yes. Okay. And
Now we go to agenda item 3, I believe.
right, which was the rate order.
Well, it's the tax rates and the appraisal.
Right.
So, in this order, you're approving the rates that are set forth in your budget you just approved,
Right.
and also confirming the certified appraisal rules and their value. So that's agenda item 3 in your packet.
Right. So, and so what we're doing is we're approving a rate of 0.2979 and then for maintenance and 0.05 for debt service for a total of 0.3479. Am I saying that
That is
correctly?
correct. That is
Okay.
correct.
Okay.
So we would need a motion.
I'll motion to approve. This is our,
Okay. I missed that. Approve. What did you
I-
say?
I said I'll motion to approve. This is Art.
Okay. Okay. Somebody want to give me a second?
Yes. I'll second.
Okay, so do we have any more discussion about the total rate order?
Don't think so.
Okay, well, I'll go ahead and call the vote then. Louis,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Art,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
and I vote yes too. Okay, so now,
Catherine,
Yeah?
this document is time sensitive. We have to get this to the county as soon as possible. So I don't know if you can print it out at your house or not, but if Lee or Mackenzie could help, we do need to get this signed by you and Chris tomorrow.
okay, so you want, you're telling me I need to sign this and it needs to get signed, then another one signed by Chris and gets to the office tomorrow. Okay, writing that down.
At least a scanned copy back to us here.
Oh, okay. You need a signed scan. I'm writing this down.
Yeah, and then you can mail the original or whatever. We can pick it up later.
Okay. You know, I have this sense that I'm got the wrong agenda in front of me because I do not have multiple. I don't have an A and a B for rate for agenda item 4. I just have a rate order.
Same here. I don't have that.
Yeah.
It's probably further down. It's out of order as far as the attachments.
No, I'm just talking about the agenda. Rate. I've got number 4.
Oh, okay, yeah. The agenda doesn't have parts like that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
just
You're
did the parts for the packet.
okay. You're talking about the attachments. Okay. Now
Correct.
now I'm cooking with gas here. Got it. Okay. Okay, so have we completed everything through 5?
Well, 5 is the rate order. I put it on there. We haven't really done much else with it since last time. We had the deposit.
Oh, yes. This is what we were talking about, the rate order where we were talking about making changes for the deposits. And I wanted everybody to read this so that we could have a more in-depth discussion about it. Because at the very minimum, what I want to do, and I want to make sure I'm reading the right one here. I really wanted to do something so that we could deal with what is going on with the quads on El Salito. Because we've had in the past a problem with specific landlords who are collecting the rent, collecting the water money for the water, and then not paying the bill. And so I wanted to put a little bit of a stick in there that that their deposit was going to start going up when they started behaving that way, because they're basically the tenants are really being abused, so to speak, when that happens. So did anybody read this?
Catherine, we do have it on the agenda for Wednesday if you want to take it up Wednesday.
Yes.
But the draft has not changed. We have increases in the security deposits basically on page 5.
Right.
Fairly large one for the multifamily that has one.
Right. Okay, so this is what I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask that the rest of the board really read this, before they go to bed. I'm sure it'll help them go to sleep tonight, so that we can have an informed discussion. Because one of the other things that I was hoping that this would address is when we start having accounts that start going into arrears. One of the things about the water that the rate order is supposed to help us with is making sure that there's enough deposit on hand to start covering their account when it goes into arrears. And if we have a situation where somebody is chronically late every other month, they're chronically late, and then it starts blowing up, we need to have something in order to protect ourselves. Because we had the situation happen last month where somebody walked away from I think it was an over $3,000 water bill, and the odds of us seeing that are not good. We're not going to be able to recover anything from that.
Catherine, let me point out also at the bottom of page 8, you've got changes proposed for the minimum monthly charge.
Right. Number 8, hold on.
It's page 8, and in particular, the monthly charge is due even if the commercial customer's water meter has been disconnected. I mean,
yes.
Any customer, not commercial. It used to be commercial, but now if any customer's water meter is disconnected, they still owe the minimum monthly charge.
Right, and then that's another really important thing to talk about, because you need to look at it like 911 service. We're billing for the trash on the water bill, and everybody needs to have 911 service. Everybody needs to pay their trash bill. That means that you don't get to pick and choose. So even if you're a property owner and you've had your water account is turned off, you still have to pay for your fire protection service. Because the fire department's going to come to your house if it's struck by lightning and is burning up. That's all there is to it. And it's no different than 911 service. Everybody's got to pay for it. So let's all think about that, and we'll discuss it in more detail at our Wednesday meeting. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay.
I keep losing Wi-Fi, so if I drop off, I just want to let you all know.
You're
That's
coming
fine.
back, but you're coming back.
Yep.
Okay. 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 So we're good through 2 through 5. Are we all good? Does everybody agree? Okay. So I guess that means, Mackenzie, you can go have birthday dinner.
Thank you, Catherine.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, you guys.
Does that mean I can drop off the call too?
Yes, Michael.
Yes, you can.
I'm gonna miss you all. I'll see you, well, in 2
Wednesday.
days, right?
You'll see-
So
yes,
I won't
yes.
miss you too much then.
Okay.
Bye.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Yeah, bye-bye. Okay, agenda item 6, online postings, inaccurate or misleading site names, district information, communications to residents to correct misstatements. I don't have anything to contribute on this agenda item. Does anybody else?
Yeah, I'd like to say something, Catherine. Further to your comments about bullying that we're experiencing, I want the community to know that a week and a half ago, Sarah Teal filed charges with the State Ethics Commission against you and against me. The reason that's so important is that those charges, if they stick, are go to jail charges. So what we have here is that Sarah Teal is trying to put me and Catherine in jail. That rises to a higher level of bullying than we have seen before. The charges that she filed were totally rejected by the attorney for the State Ethics Commission, but she might be going back with a revised one. So I want the community to know that in all of the years I've lived here, I've never seen anything as vindictive as trying to put me in jail as a director and trying to put Catherine in jail. It's beyond the pale. It begs any kind of understanding why any human would behave such a way. But that's what happened. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so agenda item 7, management report from Sage Management Services.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to make ours really, really quick here. These report reflects violations from August of 2020. We had 13 trash cans in view. These all had 13 friendlies. They only went to double-digit sections because they're the only ones that have the trash can in view violation. We do, we are continuing to work with Infomark in monitoring the trash can situation. We had 51 trash cans that were out. We had 11 missed pickups, and we had 33 recycle cans missed. Out of those recycle cans missed, though, we did find out that several of the residents are still getting their weeks mixed up. So they didn't get picked up because it wasn't their week. Okay. Let me see. On open storage, we had 7 friendlies, 2 certified. The 2 certified were to the same residents. The issue has been with legal for a while, and they have not cleaned up the property as they said they would. It's been going on since January. So we have continued to send them certified letters because we were directed to do so, even though there has been sent to legal. 9 unregistered cars, 7 friendlies. Of those 7, 3 of them are the same cars. It just happened to be fall twice in the same month. The appeal is one that we talked about. The people haven't been able to go get their registration due to COVID. And then the 2 certifieds on that unregistered car is the same vehicle that's tied up with the open storage case with legal. 2 trailers, 6 boats, 1 RV, 11 friendlies. The trailer that got certified is the same trailer that is dealing with the legal case. 2 2 pods, 0 dumpsters. That was good. We had a lot of dumpsters out there during the summer, and we are now down to 0 dumpsters. And 10 yards, 10 friendlies. We had a lot of rain, and it's expected. It happens in the summer. So we're hoping that in September, those numbers will go down. Overnight parking violations, Hunters Glen and Hunters Glen 2 had large numbers in August, but in September, the numbers have already come down. And I think we have pretty much dealt with all the other sections. They're not chronic offenders. They just happen to have a college kid home, and we are working with everyone that we know has a certain special circumstance right now. We did not have any certified letters go to legal on overnight parking. And we did not have any pre-fine notices. We have had some outside reports of deed enforcement activity. In August, we got a call from the Cedar Park 311. We also had residents say there was a lady in a white car driving around inquiring as to people's projects, and they assume that that's who reported them to 311 in Cedar Park.
Okay, so tell me what 311 is, and what does that mean when somebody calls 311?
It's a non-emergency service number, and Cedar Park has a 311 for specific code violations. The officer did not know why he was called to the MUD, because they have no jurisdiction in Williamson Travis MUD 1. So he came by because they got the call, but he went ahead and left.
Okay, so so just so I'm clear, somebody's dialing 311 because their grass hasn't been mowed.
It was a trailer that was reported, an RV, a trailer, and there was a pool project going on in the neighborhood.
I mean, where somebody
That
was having a pool installed.
Yes.
Okay.
And all of them have cleared. We've met with
Okay.
the residents that reported it, went over there, had a meeting, and it's all taken care of.
Okay. Okay.
Do y'all have any other questions?
Okay, so we've got this chronic problem that's taking place in Valente Hills with a bus.
Just about to bring that up. Thank you.
Yes. And I'm at a high level, what we've got is somebody with, is it a school bus? I've only seen the back end of it. What kind of bus is it?
It's a bus similar to what they use at UT to cart people around, or you know, a bus, one of those buses where a handicap type bus.
So it's a short school bus is what we're saying. It's not one of the great
way to describe it.
Yeah. And it's on the street, in the driveway, on the street, in the driveway. And my understanding is he's basically said, live with it.
He says it's his personal vehicle. He drives it to and from wherever he goes. I don't know if he has a job or not, but it's his personal vehicle. Sometimes he drives it, he parks it on the wrong side of the street. Anyway, two of the neighbors, I've gotten several calls from them. One really irate that it's been there for months. They reported it to Sabrina with Connect Management, and nothing has been done in their eyes.
Okay.
I explained to them that tonight, if we address it, we'll try to get Bill's firm, we motion to get Bill's firm to write them a demand letter and have them remove that vehicle.
Okay.
Is this on Cashella? Because I remember like
No,
2
it's
years
on
ago.
Brianna Woods.
It's on Brianna
Oh.
Woods. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so this is the guy's personal vehicle that he drives for work. Does it have
That's what I've been told, yes.
That's what, okay. And if he parked it in his driveway and he was driving it every day, that wouldn't be the issue. The issue is that he's leaving it on the street overnight.
Well, and it's a type of vehicle, if you recall about 2 years back, there was a blue bus on Cashellwood Drive that
That's the one.
One of the renters was out there too, and we made them remove it. You know, the HOA
Okay.
jointly with the MUD made them, because you cannot have a school bus. I guess it's considered a commercial vehicle
Okay.
in the neighborhood.
Right.
parked in the
Okay,
neighborhood.
and so the Valente Hills HOA deed restrictions are very specific. No commercial vehicles in the driveway
Correct.
on the street.
Correct.
Okay. Well, and the Valente Hills HOA wants us to aggressively deal with this problem. Am I saying that
More so the
correctly?
neighbors, yes, but
Okay. Okay. So the residents of Valente Hills want this to be resolved.
yeah. And I
Okay.
don't know if Jimmy, can you add to this? I don't know. I know Jimmy passed by and made a special trip to view it. I explained to the neighbors that we don't do the night inspections, we just do day inspections, and that's when that vehicle is there during the evening.
Really, it's there during the day.
Not there during the day. I passed by the other day around 5 o'clock and it was there, but
Okay.
during the day it was not, you know.
Okay.
We have pictures of it during the day and at night.
Okay, so there you go. When I passed by, it was not there.
So basically the deed restrictions say, I don't care if it's your personal vehicle, you cannot park
Yeah,
a,
the type of vehicle that it's more toward the type of vehicle, not so much it's your personal.
commercial.
Because the other gentleman that had the blue bus said the same thing. It's my work vehicle. He eventually moved out, you know.
Okay.
And,
Okay, so
Sabrina did send me an email and she said that she had been in communication with the homeowner. And the homeowner said that it belonged to a guest and that he was going to be there for 8 months.
Which is unacceptable.
okay, it's not a negotiation, so.
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well then I want to recommend that we throw this over the fence to Bill, and he write a demand letter that and basically what we're saying is go get another work vehicle and go or go park that one someplace else because you don't live in a
Someplace else.
neighborhood that allows you to have that there. Am I saying that
I mean,
correctly?
there's been instances where a plumbing vehicle and a carpet vehicle, they were made, you know, they had to move them. You know, they could not park them there. So.
Okay. So we're not talking about unprecedented activity here.
No, it's just pissing the neighbors off, but
Yes, it's pissing the neighbors off. This is true. Okay. So
Catherine, we would need a motion and
right.
I would like the address. We have to address.
it's okay. You want me to make the motion?
Yes,
Sure.
go ahead, make the motion.
I motion that we get Bill to issue a demand letter to the owner of the resident at 2908 Brianna Woods Drive, 78613.
I'll second
To
that.
remove the
Okay.
vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do we have any more discussion?
Yes,
Can we
Catherine.
get a second?
Yeah. Jenna seconded it.
Oh, okay.
We need to take a vote on that.
Yes, I do. I do need to take a vote on it. You're right. But I was going to ask if there's any more discussion about it.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Can-
Okay. So okay, I'll go ahead and I'll call the vote. Art,
Yes.
Louis,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
and I vote yes too. Okay.
Can I bring something up?
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you
Okay,
can't.
It's fine. Cashel would.
Yeah. Okay.
That was Beth, I think, and she can talk during the Anderson Mill West neighborhood presentation.
Yes.
I'll bring it up there.
Okay. Yes, that's appropriate. Okay. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we needed to.
We were going to discuss the pandemic protocol.
Yes.
And our chronic.
Yes. We need to have a discussion about how long we're going to have this pandemic protocol going on. And one of the things that the protocol initially was about not charging fines, not charging late fees. We're not going to turn water off. But what has evolved is we've got a very small handful of people who are, or residents who are flaunting the deed restrictions. And so we've got, Diana, give me some examples. We've got,
We've got the pig on Birch.
We got the pig on Birch. We got the guy next
We
door.
have a bass boat on Birch.
The guy next door to Birch, yeah. And so we've got a number of people where, because we don't have any, we're either going to say we're just going to start sending people directly to legal, or we're going to have a discussion about putting an end to what we call the pandemic protocol, and where we're going to start, going back to business as usual. Now, Diana, correct me if I'm wrong. Are we, of all of your clients, we're the only ones who have gone this direction? Am I correct about that? Or is everybody else, is everybody stayed the same in terms of, from an enforcement point of view?
Yes. MUDs, limited districts, and HOAs, all three.
Okay. So we're
I
the
have
only
a quick question, Diana,
Sure.
about the pig. Did you ever get in touch with the people in Cedar Park, the Williamson County livestock? Who was that?
No one has returned my call. I did get a phone call from the sheriff's office regarding the well check, but they said they did not have anyone available to handle the pig situation right now. The
my
climate,
neighbors,
and they're dealing with priority item, and the pig is not a priority item for them.
I just feel bad for the pig, and my neighbor's
Well,
right behind him. There's like 4 neighbors because they kind of live near your corner. So I don't know. I really feel bad for the pig.
Well, so do the neighbors that live next to him. I think the problem is that they're not keeping the backyard clean, and that's an unsanitary situation. With the heat, it's even worse. The smell is worse.
Well, the pig, I think, lives indoors.
I mean, in the house?
Not all the time. I have reports of it being outside.
Let me
But I have not seen it. Jimmy has not seen it.
Catherine, let me suggest that we've got some of these that we have the issue of the pandemic, but we have others like the pig that have been around for a while, and they have not responded to any of our attempts by SAGE to try to straighten it out. And I think in a case like that, we simply need to turn it over to legal.
I agree.
Irrespective of the pandemic or not. So I would move that we turn over the pig case to legal, and I'd like a second with that.
Okay, I'll second that one.
Oh boy.
Okay.
I don't know if he's going to be able to get a hold of him. Nobody really gets their mail there.
I think
yeah,
Bill will need the address.
Yes. Jimmy or Deanna, do you have the address for the pig?
I don't have the Birch address.
Do you have it?
We can give it to Bill offline because we have.
Okay.
Give it to Bill offline.
Yeah.
I will.
Okay.
And Bill, I can forward you all the communications that we've had also.
And then with respect to the others, as I understand it, Diana, correct me if I'm wrong, every one of the MUDs and HOAs that you work with are not observing this pandemic protocol that we are. They're continuing to deed restriction enforcement.
There's business as usual.
So I would move that we go back to business as usual with our deed restriction enforcement, fining, and so on, and abandon the pandemic protocol.
Do you have a date in mind?
Yeah, starting tomorrow morning.
I need to, well, part of the letter that we adopted for the pandemic protocol said that we would let the residents know when we were going to go back to regular.
That's very reasonable.
Versus pandemic protocol.
Right.
So I just want to make sure that we honor that.
Yeah, so what are you looking for, 2 weeks or more?
I would say 2 weeks.
Well, I would say, why don't we just start it with October? How about that?
All right, so my motion would be that effective October 1st. the
Okay.
pandemic protocol is abandoned.
Okay.
I'll need a second for us to discuss it.
Okay, I'll second that so we can discuss it further. Okay.
I'll work with Lee to get it updated on the website to let people know.
So do you think it would be appropriate, Diana, if, because, you know, we've got some real chronic violators out there right now, and we've got people who've actually been asking, would it be appropriate if we sent if for the people who've been receiving these, you know, month in and month out, you know, friendlies, hey, you know, that they are sent another letter that says, hey, pandemic protocol is ending on October 1st, and we're back to business as usual?
Yeah, I have been updating the letters when I send them, and back when I thought it would end in June, I would say there's a good chance it'll be over in June, but then we kept going, so I've just said in the near future, but I will change that one sentence.
Okay, well, okay, so let's talk about this a little more, Louis, because right now when we put, and Bill, maybe you can refresh my memory, when we started this whole pandemic protocol, it included a whole bunch of things. It was the no late fees, no fining, no disconnection of water. Are you talking about all of those things, Louis, or are you being more specific about the whole concept of deed restriction enforcement? But we're still not going to turn water off, and we're still not going to have late fees.
So that's a very good point, because I believe we have some accumulated fines and accumulated things that these people might owe when we end it. Is that correct, Diana? Diana?
I'm sorry.
I believe we have some accumulated fines and accumulated penalties that would be due and payable if we end the pandemic protocol. Is that correct?
We had some fines in abeyance.
Right.
So
that we're gonna discuss, but we have not had any fines or appeals in about 4 months.
Okay, does that mean we have fines in abeyance, and then the situation, you find it again in another tour, does that increase the fine? Has that been happening?
No.
Okay, so we don't have that case. So then, Catherine, I think you're right. I think we need to know what's going to be impacted here. That's the one thing I was concerned about, that I'm reluctant to get in a situation where all of a sudden a resident is facing a very large bill for stuff that's been deferred and increasing during that time.
Right.
And if I understand correctly, Jimmy and Diana, there is not any case where fines have been increasing due to failure to comply during the pandemic. Is that correct?
The only one that I could say that they have accumulated more fines is the one case that is already in legal, and that's because we were instructed to keep monitoring them and sending them letters because they were already in fine protocol.
So does the pandemic, since they're in legal, Bill, does the pandemic protocol affect them having it? Or
we have an exception for cases that are in litigation or with the attorney.
Okay, so then what remains is what, as Catherine pointed out, what have we not thought of that is impacted by the ending of the pandemic protocol?
Well, if we talk about the pandemic protocol for deed restriction enforcement, which they're two separate things, the only impact is going to be that people are probably going to start getting fines or more serious letters that haven't been getting it before. Still not going to turn off their water yet. So that's a different discussion. Maybe we'll take up Monday is when do you want to stop that pandemic moratorium on shutting off water for non-payment?
Okay, so what we're saying is that we've got two pandemic protocols. We've got the DRC pandemic protocol, which was where we were not going to be accumulating fines and putting fines on the water bill. And then we had the secondary pandemic protocol where we're saying we weren't going to turn off water.
For non-payment, yes.
Yeah, for non-payment. And so I'm still in favor at this point for keeping the where we do not turn off water for non-payment. I think right now we're just talking about the whole deed restriction enforcement part of the
And
protocol.
including issuing fines and collecting those fines, but we don't turn off water. So
Right.
the easy solution to that is if any case reaches the point where we would normally turn off the water, we don't turn off the water, but we do turn the case over to legal.
Right. Yeah. I think that's probably, I think so. So Louis, I'm gonna invite you to make another motion that's a little more detailed and concrete. How about that?
Okay, and I'll probably need some help from Bill. So
Okay.
I move that whatever procedures have been suspended during the pandemic relative to deed restriction enforcement be abandoned, and that we return to the normal process of deed restriction enforcement, except that we will continue to not turn off water, and the board will, from time to time, in its infinite wisdom, decide to turn those over to legal.
Okay, and that this protocol will discontinue on September 30th.
Yeah, it will be effective October the 1st.
Okay.
So Bill,
Okay.
what have I missed?
That's fine. Your motion's fine.
Okay. Okay. So I'll go ahead and second that one again. So do we have any more discussion about that much more detailed and concrete motion? So where we want to end up is we're still not going to be we're still not turning water off for non-payment. We're still not accumulating late fees for non-payment, but we're going to go back to what we'll call more standard deed restriction enforcement, where instead of getting friendly letters for an eternity, you're finally going to start getting letters that sound more serious and okay.
And letters.
Yeah.
Now,
So-
but wait a minute. As I understand it, we're now collecting fines.
Yeah, we're going to start putting fines on the water bill. I agree. Yeah, we're going to go.
And
We're going to.
normally, if people don't pay the fines and it keeps growing, we cut off their water. But we're not going to do that. We're going to turn it over to legal when it comes to that.
Right, because of the pandemic protocol.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you will notice that in my motion, I referred to a decision that the board might make in its infinite wisdom.
Yes, because we're infinitely we have wisdom infinitely. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
So regarding this, so no one's water is going to be turned off, and they will still be notified with friendly letters and
Yeah, the normal
fine
protocol.
notification. Okay.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yes. Yeah. We're going back to that. Yeah.
And we're going
Okay.
to put something on the website, right?
Yes.
Louis?
Yes. We're going on the web. We're putting something on the website, and we're giving what's today, the 15th. Everybody's going to be getting, 2 weeks and a day or something like that to figure out what's going on.
Let's add to my motion that we will notify the community through all of the avenues we have for contacting, including the letters, newsletters, and website.
Okay.
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 Who seconded the motion originally?
I did. Yeah.
Okay, do you accept the amendment? by
Yes.
Louis?
Yes, I do.
All right,
I
so
do.
we need to vote. We need to vote on that one, Catherine. Then we need
Right.
to go back. We need to go back to the pig case because we didn't have a motion.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, so I'm going to call the vote for the pandemic protocol. Start with Louis,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Art,
Yes.
Jana,
Yes.
and I vote yes too. Okay. So we forgot the pig. Okay.
Yeah,
So
we
we had a
floor.
motion and we talked and we forgot to vote.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I don't think we had an actual motion.
Yeah.
We talked about it.
Okay. Who made
Poor
the
pig.
okay. I'll make the motion that we turn over to legal the house who's got the pig on Birch. I don't know the address. And that we do something to move this forward so that the pig can find an appropriate home.
I've been looking for a home for him or her.
So
I have a new freezer.
you have a freezer?
No,
Bacon.
no, they already grew.
I
in
need
their
a second.
backyard.
Come on, guys. I need a second.
I'll do a second.
I'll second.
Okay. Jana beat you there, Art. Okay, so Jana's
Okay.
got a second. So Bill, tell me what happens in this particular case. We send them a letter, we send them a demand letter, they ignore us, they ignore us, they ignore us. We file suit, and then what? How do we, I guess my question is, how do we get the pig out of there?
Ultimately, in the
Got a
lawsuit,
trailer?
we request an injunction in the lawsuit along with attorney fees and fines or whatever accumulates. So the judge, if we get to that point, the judge would order the pig be removed. And if the person ignored that order, they could be found in contempt of court. So, and that's really, we can't physically go in there and take it ourselves. We don't have that authority.
Yeah.
So that's really all we can do.
Well, I think the owner of the pig is not in the neighborhood currently.
No, well, the owner of the pig was the caretaker of the owner of the house, and he is not in the house that we know of.
The owner of the house is not in the house?
No, the owner of the house is at the house. The owner of the pig is not at the house right now.
The pig's at the house, so the owner's responsible.
And the pig is there. Supposedly they have a new caretaker coming in for both the owner of the house and the pig.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and call the vote. Louis?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Jana?
Yes, save the pig, please.
And Chris?
Yes, I have a new freezer.
I know. I'm thinking it's a good thing. I vote yes too.
We could refer to the pig as incipient bacon.
Stop it.
Well, you know, there's that guy.
He's a pet.
There's that guy who lives over, who had the exotic trailer.
Yeah.
Oh, I already talked to Jimmy about that, and he said no, that's not exotic enough.
Well,
that's lunch. That's
maybe somebody has a ranch. I bet somebody we know has a ranch. Christy, you want a pig?
I don't think she's on the line anymore. I don't know.
Hey,
Maybe
I think I have someone that wants the pig. So
What we haven't mentioned is that Diana and Jimmy, I believe you've been trying to get animal control on this unsuccessfully, right?
Yes.
And with the
numerous calls.
Really hard.
Yes.
They just don't respond, or what?
I think that what the deputy told me is, as you know, the climate has been rather stressful for law enforcement right now, and they are prioritizing the calls that are going on. And the pig is not as important as 911 emergency calls right now.
Yeah, I understand. I understand. Okay, so
Regardless of the color of the pig.
Agenda 8, pending appeals of fines of violations. I don't think we have any of those right now.
No, we don't have any fines. We don't have any appeals. We have pretty much waived all the fines that have come before the board over the last several months. What we do have, for a year now, we have had fines in abeyance for a Madeline Loop property. And the resident has called and has asked us to please advocate for him, for the board. And I have to say that he has been extremely cooperative. He has gone above and beyond in fixing that property up. And he would really like to use those monies to continue fixing the property so that they can get back into that house.
Okay.
Is this the house that Julie Potts of the HOA president
Yes, sir.
concerned about? And have they had any kind of waiver before?
You all, when Julie came to the meeting, we discussed it, and she had wanted there to be 750 left in abeyance. The rest has already been removed. But we were waiting to see if he continued to work on the property, which he has, and then we went into COVID. So he has continued to work on the property throughout this whole period and has been helpful to the neighbors and just been, I mean, he's done everything that we've asked him to do.
He's been a good neighbor. Yeah, once
He has been
finally-
a good neighbor. He's actually been a good neighbor. He helped with the domestic abuse situation a couple of months ago on his street while he was there working on the property. And he rescued
a neighbor.
Female, and yeah, he rescued a neighbor.
Catherine, what I suggest is that I think we owe a respect to the HOA for its role. And so I think that we postpone any waiver until we consult with the HOA to make sure they are on board with the waiver. And if they're not, why? And then that information can come back to us perhaps as early as Wednesday to act on it. If we have any, we'll take it.
Yeah, and you know, I understand the HOA's position. My gut right now says come up with a better number that will help that person, that resident, continue to get their house in order so that they can move back in.
Okay, who's going to talk to the HOA? Should the Sagnesses do that, or should one of us?
I talk to Julie on a regular basis.
Okay.
Because I just report to her after each tour.
Okay. Well, if you would go talk with her and then get back with Louis and I, that would be really great. And I'm hoping that that she's amenable to coming up with another number.
Okay.
Okay.
Then the only other thing I had that we have in the fine protocol was 2700 Tierra Blanco. Jimmy had a meeting with the homeowner, and we have sent the latest pictures and the latest information to Bill's office already.
And that one's already in legal. We'll talk about that
That's
one. Yeah, on agenda item 16. Okay, so agenda item 9, report from the DRC on act on restrictive covenant enforcement. I don't think there's anything on there, correct, Louis?
No, there isn't.
Okay, so you've already touched on it a little bit. Agenda item 10, bulk trash day violations. We're actually moving in a much better direction now that you're incorporating as part of your normal tour process, keeping track of what's happening with the bulk date, with the bulk trash pickup. Actually, it's not just the bulk trash pickup, it's with the status of all of the waste management tours. And I know that Linda was complaining about that, but it really makes perfect sense to, for you to be, since you're out there anyway, to just be keeping track of it and writing it down and communicating that to Infomark. And I think that we've done a really good job in the last few months of getting all the wrecked trash cans replaced with workable trash cans. And that in itself has been a big deal.
It has. We've gone from a 4-week turnaround to a 3-day turnaround. So
wow. But the most important thing is you're not seeing trash cans that are falling apart with broken handles and broken wheels now. Am I saying that correctly?
They're getting them. I think we had 2 lids broken. It was the 2 lids this last time, and they were fixed. I mean,
Well, we'll find out. But yes,
one of them was fixed, and then we reported the other one. We haven't gone to check on it, but we will know this week.
Okay. Well, this has been a huge turnaround in dealing with this part of our community that I'm really supportive of. Glad to hear it. Okay. Yeah.
We'll go on. I think because there's been virulent criticism from certain people, Linda especially, about Sagnesses getting involved in this, I think we need to talk about how we got here. And the way we got here, everybody should recall, is that in the past, the whole business of dealing with problems with waste management was complaint driven. And then the issue was, how do we know what's going on when we get a complaint? And we looked at that, and that was unsatisfactory as far as the residents were concerned and as far as waste management was concerned. So, because they were getting complaints from many people that were not clear. So we had the committee of the board that works with waste management. We asked them to get together with Mackenzie and provide for the Sagnesses who would, when they do their tours, having information that they can then feed to the committee that handles waste management. So this is not additional work for them. This is simply turning over information that they're collecting anyway to the waste management committee so that they can get a more streamlined system of getting waste management to respond. And it has worked remarkably well, despite the criticisms from Linda Fabre. So what we have here is a pragmatic solution to a problem that is working, and the residents are happy about it.
Yeah, it's worked out really well.
Exactly correct, Louis.
Let's see, you know what? I really thought that the end result was going to be having to cancel the contract, which is not where we thought we were going to end up today. I honestly thought by the time we got to the end of the summer that we were going to be doing RFPs for a new waste management contract, but we were able to, turn it around by coming up with the process to collect information and communicate with the vendor. Okay, that worked out really well. Okay. Agenda item 11, presentations by Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association, Hunters Glen HOA, Lakeline Oaks HOA, and Valente Hills HOA. We've got the president of the Anderson Mill West Neighborhood Association and one of the ACC members, Mr. Burgess. So Beth, I'm going to start with you, and for you to make your presentation and your comments, and then we'll turn it over to Mr. Burgess.
Sorry, I was talking to the farmer. I think I have a home for the pig.
Oh, really? Oh, great.
Yes, we have a home for the pig, and it's going to a farm. If we can find out how to take the pig. How's that?
Okay, that's great.
I didn't want the pig to get hurt, so I called my friend that lives out on a farm, and it's not very far from here at all. So literally, if we can get a picture of this pig, and pigs are very, very smart, so he just wants to make sure that the pig's been treated well, so it'll still be a nice pig. The other thing that I wanted to bring up real quick before I start talking at all is just as you guys know, we have that trailer that's also on the corner of Primwood and Cashel. Just you guys that's that trailer that's been there forever and ever, and it's there in the middle of the night and in the morning when people have to go to work. As this is a big argument for I don't want to get into a whole lot of politics tonight, but some people want to have cars parked on the street, but you cannot, in this side of where I live, you cannot have cars parked on the street at night. You just can't get around them. But it's just really dangerous because they're actually in the right lane going on to Anderson Mill, and it's so dangerous. I cannot tell you how many times I've almost hit him because when it's dark out, you can't see the trailer. So anyways, just so you guys know that if you can ever make a run at night between 12 and 5 in the morning, you will find that trailer there.
Yeah, that's the exotic animal trainer.
Yes. It's so dangerous.
It's a huge animal.
It is huge. But Jimmy, I thought you were talking with him on a regular basis.
We do talk with him, and he it's not there all the time. He has 48 hours to have that trailer there, and he will text us when it's going to be there, and he texts us when it leaves. He should be pulling out by 5 in the morning.
Okay. Well, there's people that have to leave before 5 in the morning, nurses and teachers and who travel out of town. Here's my question. Is there any way, if he's going to leave that huge thing there, is if he puts lights on the back of that so people can see it when they turn the corner right there? there is not enough room.
That's a reasonable thing. We can talk to him about that.
I mean, it's so dangerous.
Hey
And I
guys,
know
so
that
going
Jimmy
back to the
Tate's right
past,
now.
he agreed to park that trailer at one of those, those parking lots that's just up the street, right there
He
off of
has
Anderson Mill.
storage. He has storage, Art. The thing is that when he comes home, he takes a shower, he gets something to eat, and then he hits the road. And he cannot leave it if it's full, because sometimes he has $200,000 to $300,000 worth of merchandise in that trailer, a product. And so he's just coming, and it's alive. So he lets us know, I'm coming in, and he's usually gone by 5, but we can talk to him about putting lights on the back so they can see it, or maybe he can move it to in front of his house, Jimmy.
Where does he park? Does he park on Primrose or Cashel Wood?
Cashel.
So that's a 1 block section
Yeah,
that goes.
he's taking up the whole 1 block right there with his truck.
it's the whole block, and the problem is
he
because
needs to
this
move it to in
neighborhood,
front of his house.
Yeah,
this
move it to the
neighborhood is
front.
too small. You cannot.
Okay.
He
Or
blocks the
maybe
whole
those-
lane.
You know those orange triangles where a semi truck, when they pull over on a freeway, maybe he should put some of those orange triangles down.
That's a good
And
idea.
he has orange triangles because I've seen them.
Because
We
you
have-
cannot turn into that lane off of Cashel at all. So you
Okay.
have to better be praying that there is nobody coming off Anderson Mill Road because you have to drive on the opposite lane to get out.
Wow.
Very.
Okay,
it's
so
pretty
I'm gonna
bad.
mute.
Okay.
And we're gonna call him right now.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Sorry to even bring that up, but I just thought while you guys were talking
that's
about
fine.
it,
I
let's
was under the
talk about
impression
it.
that he was parking in front of his house, because
No.
that's what he had reported to us.
That's
And
why-
legally, he has 48 hours. So we've been working with him, and he lets us know when he's going out and when he's coming back and how long he's going to be there. So we'll just call him right now. Thank you for letting us know, Beth.
That's why
Yep, it's just on and off, but when it is there, it's pretty scary. Okay, the other thing that I wanted everybody to know that I think is important to talk about is, COVID, as we all know, we're all learning with COVID and what we can do and what we can't do. And I just want to say, as your neighborhood, president, that I'm really sorry that our parks have been closed. I know that that is a really big deal for a lot of people. And sure, I want to tell you that we are going to get that park open, but I also have to tell you that as my son just came out here and 3 kids just tested positive at the high school, that we are doing everything that we can to keep everything safe, to keep everything clean, but to be able to reopen the parks. I want you to know that I would love to see them open. I see kids on them every day because there's people that are just violating everything that it says to do, which I understand that. I've had young kids. I understand the frustration that you guys are having. I also think that it's really important to know that as these parks are closed, we don't have people coming in there and cleaning them. We do not have anybody wiping them down every day. And as we are learning more and more about COVID, that it can live on surfaces for 48 hours, okay? So we have to know that when we open those parks, that's the risk that we're taking. So it's not that we don't want to open the parks, everybody. We do want those parks open. We want our community all back together. We want everybody out and about, but we need to let you know the reason why they haven't been opened is the same reason why the schools are opening at sections at a time and why activities aren't happening, the same as in restaurants. We're doing the best that we can. We're looking out for you guys. We're trying to make this happen, okay? So we'll see later this week. We'll see in the next, I think we're going to know in the next probably 3 to 4 weeks how everything is opening up with schools, and we'll be able to know what the parks too. But of course, we've been saying this for 6 or 7 months, right? So anyways, and with everything else on this open topic today, I just want to tell you all that I am so proud of everything that you've done for our community. And there is no way absolutely that you guys have done anything wrong. I've been watching it. I've been, you know, helping everywhere I can. The facts will come out. The truth will come out of who the good guys and who the bad guys are. And you know what? Stay positive, guys. I believe in you, and you guys have done so much for this community. And I've lived here for 20 years, and I couldn't be prouder to have you guys represent us. Thanks.
Thanks, Beth. Okay,
Thanks.
Mr. Burgess, you had something that you needed to present from the neighborhood association?
Well, I didn't get a chance to finish what I was speaking about last time with regards to the open records. And so this does affect all of us because all of us in this neighborhood are taxpayers. And we're having to foot the bill for the open records. So my comment was that, you know, I ran this by a couple of people I know who are the MUDs. They reviewed some of the tapes of the people who speak at the MUDs, at the MUD meetings, open comments and stuff. And basically, you know, they're kind of conservative, and they basically said they wouldn't ever release any documents to anyone unless Racehorse Jones or James, whatever the guy's name was, reviewed those documents. He was a famous defense attorney. So there's no way that we can afford not to have those documents reviewed. And in my opinion, this has been a campaign to get elected that started 2 years ago. And the documents that were being requested was just to help the campaign. There's nothing in those documents that they can actually have any legal recourse towards the MUD, in my opinion. So my comments were at the very end, I didn't get to finish them. There's because we have to make sure that the documents we release aren't something that needs or it's illegal to be released because they violate the other let me get my notes here, is there's Open Records and then there's Public Information Act. And so if there's a violation of the Public Information Act because we release information that we're not supposed to, then you know that people like Barb and Sarah and others, they would sue because we release information that we shouldn't have. So there's no way that anybody has any kind of like prudence would not have an attorney review all these documents. So the gist of it at the end was, I want to know what we got for our money as a taxpayer. And so in my seat, we got nothing. And it's not the MUD's fault we got nothing. It's the person that's requesting the document. So I spoke with a friend of mine who's a director in another MUD, and he spoke to a couple of his directors. He has an attorney. He's advised his attorney of what's going on. He was supposed to give me a call, and he's going to give me a free consult and discuss if, as taxpayers, collectively, we have recourse to collect this money that was not spent for any other purpose but to get somebody elected. So that I didn't get to finish with. And it affects everyone in this community. And I'm on, you know, the committee, and there's a lawsuit going on about that too, which I wish y'all could maybe discuss if you can, the status of. But I'm not heard back from those two individuals, two attorneys. And so when I do, I will gladly share that information with you. But that's my point. It's like, we in the community are paying for this, but I don't see any benefit for it. Therefore, the person that had this request all these documents should pay for it. It's for their benefit, not our benefit. So as soon as I hear something, I'll be glad to share that with y'all. But it does affect everyone financially, and it's just psychologically a burden to constantly be under harassment by everybody for anything that we do. And so I was just going to finish that point. And since we can have a back and forth, I don't know if you guys have any information about the lawsuit, since I'm on the committee for the Anderson West Homeowners Neighborhood Association.
Yeah, we're going to, Burgess, Mr. Burgess, that's going to be discussed in another agenda item. So,
that's fine.
yeah, so we'll talk about that in agenda item 17, I believe it is.
So if anybody has any comments or wants to ask me any questions or anything like that, I'd be glad to talk about it. But that's my take on it. It's just, you know, something that we should consider trying to collect our money. The issue is to whether we have legal standing. And I know Chris and I talked about this a little bit. It doesn't look very good, to be honest. I mean, the way the laws are written.
So if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're saying is that you're talking to another set of attorneys trying to determine if there could be some sort of community lawsuit against Linda Fobb and Sarah Teal because they have cost us so much money on open records requests, and you're suggesting that the whole thing was done as part of her election campaign strategy.
Right. And so the first thing you have to decide if we had legal standing, and it wouldn't be me as an individual. It'd have to be like a class action.
Yeah.
And then if you did have legal standing, would anybody want to go forward with it? You know, so that's where it stands now. I don't have really anything to report. It's kind of still up in the air. But that was my question, but my comments is, well, okay, why are we having to pay for all this and what are we benefited? And I can't see any benefit to us.
Okay. I've never gone on to Linda's campaign page or her Facebook page, and I remember from last month you're saying that she had dropped literature off at your house. Has she published any of the documents that she's received from Open Records onto her website?
Well, I couldn't tell because I didn't join the website. I didn't feel that was, you know, I'm not going to vote for her because I'm not going to be part of her committee.
Okay, yeah. So it's what you're saying is that's the only way that you can see if she's published it, if that's the only place you can see it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes, because I'm not on Facebook, and so I'm not the person to really ask.
Yeah, I'm not on Facebook either.
But back to your original question, when she put that on my door, I went to her page. It's a website, and she lists two things. She lists what she says are accomplishments, and she lists what she thinks, I think, are her issues. Under accomplishments, she said she reviewed 1,000 pages and come up with some improprieties. Well, that's not illegal. You know, that's like you burp at the dinner table, you know, something like that. It's not something illegal. And so y'all were doing something impropriety, or, you know, y'all were not following the standard or something like that. But I could not find anywhere, any place where there was something that was filed with the state or given to the state or a lawsuit or I don't know. It almost read like they gave it to them personally. Like they went to the district attorney and they gave them all this information. So I couldn't find anything that supported that comment. And that's what piqued my interest because I have a background in finance and in auditing. It's like, how could you review 2 years worth of documents and for what purpose? You know, and it didn't seem like there was any purpose. And there was nothing I could find that showed that all this resulted in something that was derogatory towards the MUD.
Okay.
So
Can I say, isn't one of the reasons why we're trying so hard to not release this is I don't want them to have my phone number. I don't want them to have my email. I don't want them to have my address. Aren't we protecting all the people in our neighborhood from this?
Yes. I mean, and you're not only protecting the residents, but you're also protecting legally if you release something and it would cause the MUD somebody to have legal recourse against the MUD. So there's twofold there, two purposes. You're correct. Most people do not want all that information in Linda's hands. I mean, why does she need it? Why does anybody need it? And so that's why I couldn't understand what's the purpose of this. And you guys can't ask them what the purpose is because you're the legal entity. You're the
Right.
government.
Yeah.
But
One of
I
the,
can't.
yeah.
I can ask the purpose, and as a taxpayer, I'm asking, what's the purpose? And all purpose I can see is to get elected
Okay.
or cause problems, yeah, creating chaos. So that was my comment. That's how I see it. But I will let you know if I find out anything else that would be pertinent.
Okay, well, that is an interesting thought there, Mr. Burgess, in the sense that I had never thought of it from that point of view. Okay, let's continue on. Agenda item 14, minutes from prior DRC meetings.
The minutes from the last DRC meeting were in your packet on your invite.
I want to minutes, and what number is that? It's number 14.
14.
Yeah.
Catherine, I looked at those minutes, and in a lot of places in the minutes it says that somebody said something, but it doesn't say what they said, or somebody made a comment, but it doesn't say what the comment was. I think the only thing the minutes have to convey technically is motions made and voted on. So with respect to anything like that, the minutes should be more fulsome than just saying such and such said something. However, we don't have to put any detail about what people said unless it involves a motion and a vote. So I think we need to look through those minutes, and maybe Jimmy and Diana can answer the question of, are there any instances in those minutes where there were motions made and votes taken that are not reflected in?
Iris. We send the minutes over to Bill.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. Iris. Let me shut down there. We send the minutes over to Allison and Bill's office, and they review it, and then we forward it to you all. So if anything is missed, they are our backup.
To answer your question, Lewis, there's nothing in those sections that are related to actions taken by the board at that meeting.
Yeah, and that's what I'm seeing when I look at the minutes, that there wasn't anything. There weren't any motions. Well, we proved the minutes. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I think that was the only action that was taken.
What that means was that the last DRC board meeting was a real simple meeting compared to some of our other recent meetings.
It was.
Yeah. Okay.
In
So
that case, I'll move for acceptance of the minutes.
yeah, I'll go ahead and second that. Do we have any? Yeah, look at the meeting. The meeting was adjourned at 7:32. So it was an hour. So this was a real quick meeting. Do we have any more discussions?
Oh,
that was a no?
Looks good to me.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and call the vote. Louis?
Yes.
Jana?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Okay, and I vote yes also. Okay, agenda item 15, coordination of reporting between Sage and Infomark. I'm assuming this is going really well. We got to make sure everything is in order, since we're going to be moving out of pandemic protocol on October 1st. Okay. Agenda item 16, lawsuit with the owner at 2202 London Lane.
Catherine,
Yeah.
if I could interject, what I'd like to do is take 16 and 17 in an executive session.
Oh, okay.
I would recommend, I think we can finish the rest of the agenda and then go executive session and come back. So
Okay, let's go.
just real quick on 18 and 19.
Okay.
Those are pending. The plan is to take those up on Wednesdays at Wednesday's meeting.
Okay.
So I don't think there's any action on that tonight, and then you can finish the agenda
Okay.
from there.
Okay, so agenda item 20, funding for an interaction with the neighborhood associations and the HOAs. We have nothing to discuss there. Agenda item 21, answers to prior questions from residents. I don't have anything. Louis, do you have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. And agenda item 22, second amended order calling election, director's election.
Yes. So Travis County's made another change.
Wow.
They've changed. This is all part of the problem with being in a pandemic and doing an election. They could not use the main early voting polling place, so they came up with a different location. That's the only change in order. So
Okay.
I'd recommend a motion to approve the second amended order calling director's election.
Okay, I will go ahead and move that we accept the second amended order calling director's election.
I'll second that.
Okay, I'm looking over the red line. Did you say, is there a list of the polling places? Is that what they're doing?
Well, we still don't have the exhibits. They'll be attached when they come. But the Travis County main early voting polling place has been changed.
Oh, from Highland Mall to a Holiday Inn?
Yeah, they couldn't use Highland Mall during the pandemic. So
Right.
Really?
that's what they said.
Okay. So did I get a second?
Yes.
Okay. Do we have any discussion? I'll go ahead and call the vote. Louis?
Yes.
Jana?
Yes.
Art?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Okay, and so now I need to read the special words to go into executive session. Did you send those to me?
Yes, yes, I did. They should be in your email.
I'm trying to think. What are they?
Separate email. It's not on the invite.
Okay, it's not on the invite. Hold on. Let me go find that special email. Okay. Man, we got some
Feedback.
Yeah, we got some feedback.
Two people have to be really close for that to happen.
I'm pretty sure it's Linda.
It looks
Linda
like
has-
Linda Fobb has 3 phones on here, so I don't know. That might be the background noise.
It might be.
While we're waiting for that, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so we have, right now when Louis asked me a question, I was actually, Jimmy and I were on the phone with Ty Angel. The trailer situation on Cashel and Primwood is a fix. He's gonna put triangles, he's gonna put lights, he's gonna put it in a different location.
Oh, yay.
Great.
Okay, so Bill,
Thank
you
you.
wanted to go for, was it 16 and 17?
Yes, 16
Okay.
and 17.
Okay, so here we go. So just so I'm clear, you're going to send us all a separate invite to go into executive session, correct?
Yes, the board will get an invite. As far as the residents online, they're welcome to stay until we come back. I'm guessing it'll be about a half an hour, but I don't know for sure. So the board will actually be physically, or not physically, digitally leaving this meeting, and I'll send an invite for the executive session, and then we'll be coming back after it to take whatever actions needed. And then as far as Jimmy and Diana, I'll provide you with information to finish the minutes, so you do not need to necessarily stay on until we come back. You're welcome to, but you don't have to.
Okay. Okay, so here I go. The Board of Directors will now go into closed session for consultation with the district attorney pursuant to section 551.071 and the Texas Government Code regarding agenda item numbers 16 and 17.
If it's anything important.
Okay, I'm leaving this meeting.
Me too.
Louis, you're standing in the wood. You're standing in the something.
That's because
Oop, you, yeah.
That's because I'm in my office and the background is awful. Except for one thing I'll share with you in a minute. I'll show you.
Okay.
At least we can hear you this time.
Yeah.
For the residents, they're still on the line. The board is about to come out of executive session.
Yeah.
We're logging back in if you want to. Like that.
Okay, so you ready for me to read my little thing?
Well, let's wait. We got Jana. I don't see Chris. Chris, are you there? He's not back yet.
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, we're
all.
all.
So you can, yes.
Okay, there's Jana. Oh, hey, I still think that's great, Lois. Okay, so the board of directors has concluded its closed session and is returning to the open meeting. No action was taken during the closed session. Okay, so now we need to go back to agenda item 17 to for the engagement of special counsel. Am I correct about that, Bill?
Correct. So in your packet is an engagement letter with Richard Rodriguez and Skeet, and that's what's up for consideration.
So I move that we engage Richard Rodriguez and Skeet as our attorneys for the lawsuit of item 17 on the agenda.
And approve the engagement letter?
And approve the engagement letter.
Okay. I'll go ahead and second that. Is there any more discussion?
Nope.
Okay. So I'll go ahead and call the vote. So that's Louis.
Yes.
Art.
Yes.
Jana.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
And I vote yes also. Okay, so was there any other agenda item that we hadn't covered? Are we done?
We're on 23. Yeah,
23. Okay, I need somebody to adjourn the meeting.
I motion that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, everybody say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Good night, guys. See you Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll see you
Thanks,
Wednesday.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.
Thanks.